The Murder of Kenneth Fandrich, a Case of Stalking and Obsession. This segment of Postmortem, hosted by Anne-Marie Green with 48 Hours correspondent Natalie Morales, delved into the complex and tragic murder of Kenneth "Kenny" Fandrich, who was found dead in a parking garage in Hillsboro, Oregon, on January 27, 2023. Though the killer, Stephen Milner, attempted to obscure his actions by spray-painting security cameras, police used meticulous detective work, subtle video clues, and a history of stalking to build a solid case. The crime scene and initial clues. Kenny Fandrich, a contract pipe fitter, was found in the driver's seat of his car in a parking garage on the massive Intel campus where he worked. The location, being part of a major tech company, was highly secured and covered by numerous security cameras, making it an unusual choice for a murder. A critical piece of information came from Intel's security staff. A month earlier, the same security cameras had been spray-painted in an incident dismissed at the time as criminal mischief. Investigators later concluded this was a dry run by the killer, Stephen Milner. Despite the killer's efforts to black out the footage, a crucial error provided a major break. A 1/10th of a slip-up. One camera was almost completely spray-painted, but a sliver at the top remained clear. This small portion allowed investigators to spot a maroon minivan making its way through the garage. The forehead crease. Footage from the test run incident a month prior showed a masked individual with only a tiny bit of skin visible above the forehead. Detectives noticed a distinctive crease or crinkle in the skin, which was identified as a rare genetic trait. This feature became a key identifying characteristic that helped link the masked figure to the suspect. Stephen Milner and the stalking history. Investigators initially focused on Kenny's wife, Tanya Fandrich, as is common in spousal murders, especially since she was at the scene quickly. However, Tanya quickly revealed a shocking detail. Her husband had a stalker, Stephen Milner. The affair and obsession. Tanya revealed she had had an affair with Milner, a respected local veterinarian, years earlier. Although she had ended the relationship and repeatedly told him to leave them alone, Milner became obsessed and continued to stalk both her and Kenny. Tanya had previously reported this to the police. Milner's delusion. Milner took the stand during the trial and admitted to being at the garage and spray-painting the cameras. He claimed he was there out of concern for Tanya, believing he was the only one who cared and that he was trying to save her from potential domestic abuse issues in her marriage, a belief that appeared to justify his behavior in his own mind. The shrine. A search of Milner's house revealed his continued obsession. In his room, investigators found a cardboard cutout and a shrine to Tanya containing old love notes and letters where he acknowledged that she didn't want him but showed he couldn't let go. The police procedural and lost evidence. The case was a triumph of dedicated police work led by the dynamic duo of detectives Stephanie Winter, on her first homicide case, and Devin Rigo, connecting the dots. By analyzing the data from Milner's everyday vehicle, a white Toyota SUV, they discovered he had been repeatedly traveling to an Oregon City Home Depot. The burner cars. At the Home Depot, security footage and local law enforcement records confirmed a pattern of suspicious activity involving a couple of cars. What investigators determined were burner cars used by Milner. A week too late, detectives successfully tracked the key clue, the maroon minivan, to a scrapyard. Tragically, they arrived to witness their biggest piece of potential evidence, which they believed to be the murder scene, being crushed, having been destroyed just a week earlier. The trial and verdict. Despite the loss of the minivan and crucial forensic evidence, the prosecution was able to build a case based on surveillance footage, the history of protection orders, and a final, critical piece of evidence. Stephen Milner's DNA was found on Kenny Fandrich's hand. The self-defense claim. Milner took the stand and claimed he was only defending himself when he confronted Kenny. He testified that Kenny was the one who attacked him and that he fought back, pushing and shoving him into the car. He stated he used as much force as I could because he was scared. The verdict: the jury rejected Milner's self-defense claim, finding him guilty of murdering Kenny Fandrich and multiple stalking charges. He was sentenced to life in prison with a possibility of parole after 25 years. This segment concluded by highlighting the tragedy. Tanya and Kenny Fandrich had done everything they could, reporting the stalking, obtaining protective orders, but it was not enough. The stalking behavior, initially dismissed by some, proved fatal. Tanya is currently involved in a wrongful death suit against Milner. Do you have any further questions about the Stephen Milner case or the evidence used by the detectives?